Okay, so welcome back to this tutorial. If you've been following along, if you've been following along, I believe by now you should have gotten to this part of the tutorial. You should have been able to execute this. If you haven't been able to execute this, go back to the video, watch it all over again, play around it, and make sure you get it before carry on the tutorial. Because from here on, we're gonna move into learning new things. In this part of the tutorial, we're gonna be styling our text. We're going to start styling our text, all the text we're going to be having. So I'm going to be teaching you a couple number of basic skills in text styling, as well as some advanced skills in text styling. We're also going to be executing some form of 3D. I'm going to show you a very cheap, easy way to give your text that 3D effect, a 3D effect. So to begin with, we're just going to load up our fonts. For this tutorial, I'm going to be using a couple number of fonts, and if you don't have them in your system, just go over to the www.datfonts.com and get it for yourself. www.datfonts.com. Go over there, search for the fonts, and then download them and just install them on your system. To install a font, just simply double click on the file you downloaded. It's kind of automatic, so you shouldn't need shouldn't encounter any much problem with that. So let's begin by typing in our font first. I'm going to start with the basics. Now what I want to do is to come over here and select your text tool. Right here, select your text tool, and just type anywhere on your screen. We're gonna type mini site. Don't worry about the particular font. We're gonna reduce the size of this. We're also gonna change the font type for this, but I want us to bring in all our text first, then we do the styling separately. So now that's mini site. I clicked on the move tool to deselect the text edit. So that the next text I'm going to be creating is going to be on a separate layer. The reason why I did this is so that we can apply separate styling to each of the text layers. Now, let's bring in our advanced. I then type in mini site advanced course. Advanced. It could be anything. It could be what you've chosen to use. It could be the name of your site. It could be a particular highlight. It could be anything. Literally anything you want to type. So mini site advanced. Okay, so that's our advanced. I'm just going to click on the move tool to deselect the editing. To go out from editing mode. I've set that layer. Now I'm going to apply one last text layer for the course. Okay, so there we have it, our 3 layers. We're going to start by styling the mini site. Now, for the effect I'm going for, the mini site is I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, and I'm also going to make it in lowercase. By lowercase, I mean small letters. So let's just go over here, Control A to select everything in the box. Let me take you back a little bit. I made this layer editable by selecting my text tool and clicking once in between the text layer. This automatically selects the layer that is attached to that is directly below the cursor where you clicked, and makes it editable. Now you'll notice that this is in large font. This is in uppercase. We're gonna make it lowercase. Funny enough, this particular font I'm using doesn't support lowercase letters. So we're just gonna use a different font. We're gonna use something casual. Let's see. Let's just type it in first. Select all with Control A. Come over to your text font selector, and I'm just gonna go through it and look for something a bit casual yet professional. Now, the factors that might affect your choice of font could be varied. It could be solely for aesthetics. It could be to emphasize a particular point. To take, for example, if I'm going for an handwritten feel, I want the site to look like something that was designed by hand, by regular hand. I would want to use a font that will look something like this. Are you seeing this? This looks like something that was just scribbled in. It does look nice. We could use this, or you could decide to use any other thing, any other font you like out there. But for this, I'm just gonna be using. I'm gonna be not too far off from what we have now, but a bit more professional, a bit more official. Let's see. Okay, I think I like this one, so I'm just gonna go with this. So now I've left the editing mode by clicking my move tool, and the size is still a bit large, so we're just gonna transform it. Ctrl T to transform. Click on your chain link tool, chain link icon, and just scale it down a bit. Just gonna scale it down, then move it in place somewhere right up here. Okay, enter. Now we're also gonna scale this down. I think it's okay like this. No, let's scale it down a little bit. Ctrl T to scale it. Click on your chain link tool, and just reduce the size. Do ensure when your move tool is selected, do ensure your auto select box is selected and set at layers. This makes it easier for you to select particular parts of your working document instead of coming over to your layers panel to actually manually locate your layers. This auto selects any layer you simply click on. I want to move the course tool, I click on it. I want to move the car, I click on it. It simply moves. You get the point. So let's make sure your auto select is selected and set at layers. Now you're going to move this one up a bit, somewhere here. Just going to move it somewhere here. I think the mini site is a bit large. It's a bit large. So we're just going to reduce it down a little bit. Ctrl T, your chain link tool, and you just reduce it down. Take it down. Okay, that's kind of enough. So this one, take it in a little bit, move it up. Change the space in there. It's okay. Now for our course, the course is also quite large, and the font I don't think it's appropriate. So we're just gonna change our font. Let's see. Okay, Ctrl T. Nope. Select our move tool. Ctrl T. Select our chain link tool. Scale it down. Bring it in place. Still quite large. Notice how it's docked behind our car. If we don't want that to happen, simply come into our layers menu and move the course layer above. Apply our transform. Move the course layer up above the car. This is our car layer. Let's just rename it as car to make working easier. Move it above our car layer. Now we have it above it. Now we can easily see it. If you don't want them to overlap, you could just move this one in towards somewhere here. Mini site advanced course. Now notice the color is just black. I'm using a default color of black. So now we're gonna apply our various styling. I'm gonna be using this opportunity to teach you a couple number of ways of styling your text to give them that professional touch. We're also gonna be executing a bit of 3D in this during the course of this. To begin with, I'm just gonna apply a basic styling to the mini site. I first selected the layer. Ensure your move tool selected. Click on the mini site layer. Go into right click on this on the mini site layer that is highlighted. Go into blending options as usual. Then apply a color overlay to it. I'm gonna use something like yellow. Okay, let's say red. Let's see how red comes out. Okay, let's just see. Let's use this U. The color is FFBA00. You could easily just type this in and you get this exact same color. Okay. Okay, that's that for that. That's just a basic color overlay styling. As for the advanced area, we're going to start with just using basic Photoshop layer styling. We're going to apply a gradient overlay. We're going to change the gradients. We're going to change this to something grayish. Okay, click on OK. We're going to apply a bit of stroke to it. We're going to stroke it, change the stroke color to white. We're going to apply a drop shadow to it. The drop shadow is this one behind, underneath it. We're just going to take it up a little bit to 6. That's okay. Okay. Now we already have, this is one form of styling. You could decide to leave it like this. Let's style the coarse layer, blending option, apply a color overlay to it. Always be careful not to use too many colors in your work. The fewer is always the better, but just enough color to emphasize your point. So we're going to stroke it again with white. Sorry, cancel, stroke. Ensure your stroke layer is selected. While you click on the select box, ensure it's also highlighted right here. Change the stroke to something white. Apply a drop shadow to it. Okay, we come here and do the same thing. Blending option, apply a stroke to it. Change the stroke color to white. Okay, apply a drop shadow to it. That's one form of styling. Okay, this is very basic styling with just the gradient and the stroke and the drop shadow. So you could leave it like this as if you're okay with this, but you could also move forward. I'm going to show you another way of styling it, on the option for styling. Starting again with the mini site. I'm going to do this. I'm going to leave the drop shadow. I'm going to apply a bevel and emboss. See, it now has the rubbery feel. We're going to make a couple number of tweaks to it. We're going to reduce the size down a little bit, so it's just barely visible. Okay. So what you could do with the Photoshop layers menu is actually infinite. You could do so many things with it. You could execute so many effects with it. Now, notice as I make changes to my values here, the changes are actually taking effect immediately. Now, I think I like what the effect we just did. This is a rubbery effect. Makes it look, gives that synthetic feel, synthetic texture to it. See this? We could leave it like this. Ensure your shading angle is set at 63%. I use this as my default, so it's automatically there. I doubt if yours will be like this, but so just ensure the values are set exactly the way they are right here on the menu. You should have the very same feel as I do up there. We could also still apply a gradient overlay to it. Remove our color overlay, change our gradient overlay. Sorry, cancel. Click on this box one. Change this color to yellow, something yellowish, and change this one to a deeper shade of yellow. Okay, so you see, you have on that different feel, a different effect again for our mini site. Could either do okay, then come over to your advanced Double click on it. We're also going to apply a gradient and overlay, a bevel and emboss effect to it. Same defaults as before. So you see, we have a whole 3D looking effect, a more textured feel to our text. Now you could either still tweak the gradients to a different color, or you could just apply a pattern overlay to it. Click on pattern overlay, come over here to your blend mode, set it to overlay, change your gradient overlay, set it to overlay. Oh, sorry, excuse me. We're just gonna have a pattern overlay, set it to normal, and select any pattern you want to use. There are literally thousands and thousands of patterns out there you could use. You just have to go online, look for it, or you can create your own pattern. I will show you in a separate video how you could do that. A lot of patterns. Those patterns are not showing because our initial text background is actually white. It's actually black. So we're going to use a pattern that has a bright color. These are all patterns. These are all custom patterns I loaded separately on my own. You might not have them, you will not have them on your system, but you could also just stick to the basic Photoshop patterns that are already available in your system. You could access them by coming under here, by clicking this small knob over here, and selecting any of the categories you have here. These are patterns for artistic surfaces. This grayscale pattern. If I just play around with them, select each and every one of them and see what patterns you have under them, and you could do virtually anything with it. Okay, so I'm just going to take away that and go back to the gradient overlay option, change it from overlay to normal. I'm going to do a couple number of advanced tweaking to it, and let's do this. Let's click on this, on the white knob, on the brighter knob, shift it in, and we're going to change the opacity on this layer. We want to apply this. I want to change the opacity down. We're going to take it down a little bit. Notice what's happening here. Now, we now have like a reflection effect. It now looks like a reflection, a glossy feel, glossy reflection due to this extra knob, extra transparency applied on top, and we took down the opacity down. Took the opacity down, and that's. I just aligned the two knobs together in one, so as to have this sharp, defined reflection. I'm also going to show you how you can achieve this look with something else, with using a normal under layer over this. That's okay. That's okay. Now you have under different feel, under different look. Okay. So I'm gonna show you another look now. You could either leave it like this, or you could carry on. I'm gonna show you on that way of styling this text, on that option for styling this text. I'm gonna be going for the 3D feel for our advanced text. First of all, what I'm gonna do is to go into my advanced layer, cancel. I'm gonna right click on it and click on clear layer styles to remove all the layer styles applied to the advanced layer. I'm gonna also lift it up a little bit. Lift it up a little bit from somewhere here. I'm just gonna take this text a little bit so I be spacing between our two groups of text. So let's the advanced layer once again, and what I want you to do now is to select your text 2, ensure your advanced layer is selected. Now select your text 2 and change this color to white. Okay. Now come into your advanced layer, go into blending options for that layer, and apply a bevel and emboss effect to it. Ensure you have my defaults. Ensure you have all this selected, values, size as 5, depth 100%, and angles is 3 degree, and use global light, checked, and everything 75 screen mode 75%, opacity 75%. Ensure everything's selected like this, like you have it here, and just click OK. And what we're gonna do now to get our 3D effect is we're gonna duplicate this layer a couple number of times in one direction. Now what I want to do, ensure this layer is selected. You're gonna hold down the Alt key once, hold it down, select your move tool. First of all, select your move tool, your quick move tool right here. Select it. Then hold down your Alt key. Hold down the Alt key. Then press down. Just tap the down arrow key once, while still holding down the Alt key. Just tap it once. What this does is it makes a duplicate of that particular layer that I selected and moves it down. Make the duplicate down, just one step down. Now you're going to release that Alt key and press side, your left, once to move the layer to the left. Now you repeat the same procedure like 4 or 5 times to get the 3D effect. I'm going to hold down Alt, press arrow key down, release the Alt key and press arrow key left. Hold down Alt, press arrow key down, release the arrow key and release the Alt key and press arrow key left. Hold down Alt, duplicate, same procedure, and press left. Now do it one more time. That's okay. Now what I want to do now is to group all the layers, all duplicate layers you've made. Select from advanced copy 1. Just scroll down and look for advanced copy. Hold down your shift key and click on. Hold down your shift key and click on the. Sorry, what's happening to my keyboard? My mouse is having issues. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Okay, so what we're gonna do, just select all the layers, all the duplicate layers that you made, and press Ctrl G. Then press Ctrl E to flatten out that layer. Flatten out that layer. Now we're gonna apply blending options to it. We're gonna apply color overlay to it. Sorry, cancel. We're gonna bring this one forward. Oh, we've made a mistake. So I'm just gonna align this. I'm gonna realign this. Sorry, let's just apply color overlay so it's easily visible. I want to remove the bevel and emboss. Okay. It's a bit sketchy, so we're just gonna. Okay, so I've realigned it. What I did was initially the front advanced layer was behind our 3D effect, so it wasn't quite visible. So I changed the order. I realigned it using my arrow key to the center. Now for our 3D effect, this is our 3D effect. This layer for our 3D effect. We're just gonna change this advanced layer styling back. Let's just change this color back, something nice and grayish. For our 3D effect, cancel. Sorry, what's going on here? Color overlay. Change the color back. It's gray. Okay. Click on OK. For our 3D effect, I'm gonna apply blending to it. Blending, going to our layer options to it, and color overlay. Oh, it's not very centralized.